The world is a chessboard, where every move is calculated, every alliance is strategic, and every decision can tip the balance of power. In this high-stakes game, nations are not just players. They are kings, queens, and pawns, each with their own ambitions and vulnerabilities. And right now, the Middle East and South Asia are at the center of a dramatic power shift, where old alliances are being tested and new rivalries are emerging. The region is witnessing a transformation that could reshape not just local politics, but the entire global order. India and Saudi Arabia, once close partners building trade routes and economic dreams together, now find themselves navigating a new and uncertain reality. Their relationship, once defined by cooperation and shared interests, is being challenged by shifting priorities and external pressures. Saudi Arabia has signed a powerful military pact with Pakistan, a move that has sent shockwaves through diplomatic circles. This bold step is shaking up traditional alliances, raising global concerns, and forcing other nations to reconsider their own strategies. This agreement could redraw the region's map, linking Saudi wealth and religious influence with Pakistan's nuclear arsenal, a combination that could alter the balance of power in ways the world has never seen before. With recent India-Pakistan tensions, ongoing wars, and a history of conflict, a single decision here could change history for millions. The stakes are higher than ever, and the consequences could ripple far beyond these borders. In this episode, we'll explore the history, the stakes, and what this means for India, a rising power caught in the middle of a geopolitical storm, trying to protect its interests while navigating a rapidly changing landscape. This is more than just a headline. It's a real-life drama unfolding before our eyes, with consequences for global peace, economic stability, and the future of millions. The world is watching, and the next moves could define a generation. To understand today's headlines, we need to look back. Saudi Arabia and Pakistan's alliance goes back over 70 years. Saudi money, Pakistani military muscle, and shared faith. Saudi Arabia, guardian of Islam's holiest sites, and Pakistan, the only Muslim nuclear power, have long supported each other. Pakistani troops have protected Saudi soil, and the kingdom has funded Pakistan in tough times. Recently, their bond seemed to fade as Saudi Arabia courted India and focused on its own economy. But rising instability and threats from Iran have pulled Riyadh and Islamabad back together, culminating in high-level military visits and a renewed alliance. This isn't nostalgia. It's a calculated move to revive a powerful partnership in a dangerous world. While Saudi Arabia and Pakistan shared history, a new partnership was blossoming between Saudi Arabia and India. Under Prime Minister Modi, India and Saudi Arabia moved beyond oil, signing deals on security, investment, and technology. Their ambitious India-Middle East-Europe Economic Corridor, IMEC, aimed to connect India to Europe, making Saudi Arabia a global trade hub. This partnership was built on geoeconomics, prioritizing trade and growth over military rivalry. Saudi Arabia became a top supplier of oil to India, and both nations invested in massive joint projects. It was a practical, forward-looking alliance, signaling a major realignment in Asian geopolitics. Just as India-Saudi ties reached an unprecedented high, with both nations celebrating new economic and diplomatic milestones, a dramatic twist was about to unfold on the world stage. Riyadh stunned the world by signing a strategic mutual defense agreement with Pakistan, a move that sent shockwaves through diplomatic circles and caught many by surprise. The pact's core principle, an attack on one is an attack on both, now binds Saudi Arabia to Pakistan's defense, and vice versa, creating a powerful new security alliance in the region. The timing was explosive, coming just months after a major India-Pakistan conflict that had already heightened regional tensions and left the world watching South Asia with concern. For India, this felt like a deep betrayal, threatening its hard-won partnership with Saudi Arabia and raising fears of diplomatic isolation at a critical moment. The agreement followed a series of secretive visits by Pakistan's army chief to Riyadh, signaling a decisive shift back to hard security priorities and military cooperation. India's official response was measured and cautious, but the sense of alarm and disappointment was unmistakable in both government circles and the media. The pact now forces India to urgently rethink its entire Middle East strategy, as the balance of power in the region shifts in unpredictable ways. With energy security and economic ambitions now at risk, Indian policymakers and business leaders are left scrambling to assess the potential fallout and safeguard national interests. The game has changed dramatically, and India must quickly decide its next move in a region where alliances can shift overnight and the stakes have never been higher. The Defense Pact is about more than mutual protection. It's about nuclear weapons. Pakistan's nuclear arsenal and Saudi Arabia's long-standing interest in nuclear protection make this pact a potential nuclear shield for the kingdom. Saudi leaders have openly threatened to match Iran's nuclear ambitions, and recent attacks on Iran's facilities haven't erased the threat. The pact's vague language about all military means hints at a nuclear umbrella. This alarms international watchdogs, who fear a new wave of nuclear proliferation. The history of secret nuclear cooperation between the two countries only deepens concerns. The pact formalizes what many suspected. The Middle East is now closer to a nuclear standoff. This is more than symbolism, it's a dangerous new reality. For India, the Saudi-Pakistan pact is a strategic blow. India's geo-economics first policy, building ties with Gulf states through trade, now faces a harsh test. The pact's mutual defense clause creates a nightmare scenario. In any India-Pakistan conflict, could Saudi Arabia intervene? India's vital energy supplies and billion-dollar projects with Saudi Arabia are suddenly at risk. The IMEC corridor, a symbol of new cooperation, now faces an uncertain future. Experts warn that security concerns are once again trumping economic ambitions in the Middle East. India must now navigate a far more complicated regional landscape. The Saudi-Pakistan pact casts a nuclear shadow far beyond Asia. It creates a loophole. Saudi Arabia gains nuclear protection without building its own bomb, setting a dangerous precedent. Other regional powers like Turkey or Egypt may seek similar guarantees, risking a domino effect of nuclear alliances. The Middle East, already volatile, could see conflicts escalate with nuclear weapons in play. Sanctions or inaction by the global community both carry risks as the world struggles to respond. International organizations face a monumental challenge to reinforce non-proliferation rules. The stakes are high. The peace and security of the entire planet hang in the balance. The world must act before this new model of nuclear sharing spreads. The Saudi-Pakistan alliance is part of a global power shift, with China as a key player. This partnership signals a new era in international relations, where traditional alliances are being redefined and new power centers are emerging. As Saudi Arabia and Pakistan draw closer, their cooperation is not just about bilateral interests, it's about reshaping the balance of power across Asia and beyond. China, Pakistan's closest ally, gains leverage in the Middle East through this pact, complicating US influence. With China's growing economic and diplomatic footprint, Beijing is now positioned to play a more decisive role in regional affairs, from energy deals to security arrangements. This development challenges the long-standing dominance of the United States and introduces a new layer of complexity to Middle Eastern geopolitics. The US is no longer the region's sole security guarantor. Saudi Arabia is seeking new options, creating a multipolar world. As Riyadh diversifies its partnerships, it signals to other nations that the era of single superpower dominance is fading. This shift encourages countries to pursue their own interests, forging new alliances and recalibrating old ones. Europe's IMEC project, meant to rival China's Belt and Road, is now in jeopardy, threatening trade and energy security. The uncertainty surrounding these massive infrastructure projects could disrupt supply chains, impact global markets, and force countries to rethink their economic strategies in a rapidly changing landscape. Across Asia, countries must navigate a return to hard geopolitics, with old rivalries and new ambitions colliding. Regional powers are reassessing their priorities, investing in defense, and seeking new partnerships to secure their interests in an increasingly unpredictable environment. The dream of an Asian century built on cooperation faces a serious test. Economic growth and integration are now challenged by strategic competition, as nations weigh the benefits of collaboration against the risks of rivalry and division. Nations may be forced to choose sides in a more divided world. The choices they make today could define their futures for decades, shaping not only regional stability, but also the global order. The ripple effects of this pact will shape global alliances for years to come, influencing everything from security arrangements to economic partnerships, and setting the stage for a new chapter in world affairs. As of November 30th, 2025, the strategic landscape has shifted dramatically. The Saudi-Pakistan Pact revives old alliances and casts doubt on new ones, reminding us that security often trumps economics. India faces a delicate balancing act, protecting vital ties with Saudi Arabia while confronting a new security threat. The world must grapple with urgent questions about nuclear proliferation and shifting power balances. The choices made now will echo for generations. The story is just beginning, and the next move could change everything. As global citizens, we must stay informed and engaged as this high-stakes game unfolds.